Welcome to this rapid revision session on the Transcontinental Railroad. Let's get into it. The Pacific Railroad Act of 1862. A major goal of Manifest Destiny was linking east to west with a fast, reliable and efficient transport method, and one that was a lot safer than the Oregon Trail too. The new technology of steam locomotives and railroads offered the solution. The Pacific Railroad Act authorized the buildings of the first Transcontinental Railroad, but this was done by two main companies. Firstly, shown in red on the map below, the Central Pacific Company began building from Sacramento in California, heading east through the Sierra Nevada and the Rocky Mountains, very challenging terrain for the engineers. The Union Pacific Company headed west across the much more open plains from Omaha, Nebraska. This had been made possible by the 1851 Fort Laramie Treaty, which allowed prospectors under Army protection to access Indian land, although whether the Indians really understood the implications of what they were signing at that time is a matter for debate. Let's consider the effects of the Pacific Railroad Act. The Pacific Railroad Act offered generous incentives for the companies who needed to overcome huge distances and engineering challenges to build the line, not to mention a massive investment of money too. They required protection from Indians, and this was promised. This led to conflict that got rid of any rights to land that the Indians had on the route. A loan of $16,000 for every mile built helped to offset the costs. It was up at $48,000 in the mountain areas, which was so much more difficult. And there was a grant of 10 square miles of land alongside the track for every mile built. This particularly benefited the Union Pacific, who could sell off homestead land and establish towns on the plains. We're going to look at the effects of the railroads in different sections now. You could use this as the basis of some index cards or maybe a mind map. We're going to consider the national impacts first. The Transcontinental Railroad connected east with west directly. To many, this represented the achievement of Manifest Destiny, the idea that white Europeans were supposed to take over the entire continent. Also, the economic benefits of transport and trade that the railways brought was huge. But that wasn't all. There were significant effects on the Indians too, most of them negative, let's be honest. The Indians were moved away from the railroads. The buffalo declined too. Trains brought hunters and disturbed their migration. And Indians attacked railroad surveyors and builders, leading to conflict with the US Army. Railroads led to increased settlement on Indian land. So as you can see, if there were great losers of the railroad revolution, it was the Plains Indians. There were effects on the cattle industry too. Texas cattlemen could transport stock to big eastern cities, driving growth in the cattle industry. And there were effects on settlement and farming. Travelling west was cheaper, quicker and easier for migrants on the railroads. European immigration therefore was encouraged. Transporting farm produce, both on and off the plains, was made much easier. And towns grew rapidly. Every new station and terminus became an important and well-linked town. Homesteaders could get new equipment and inventions from the industrial east too. So here's a lineup again of the national impacts, effects on Indians, impact on the cattle industry and settlement and farming. What you could do here is you could use this as a basis for your own mind map, your own index cards, or possibly you could take a screenshot and print it as your own revision resource, which you could put up somewhere. I'll leave that up to you if you want to. Some final points then. The Transcontinental Railroad was a huge engineering achievement. It made transport west faster, cheaper and easier. The Pacific Railroad Act of 1862 offered economic benefits and incentives for railroad companies, cattle barons and settlers. Some felt it represented the achievement of Manifest Destiny, but it also led to increased conflict with the Plains Indians. That's the end of this rapid revision session. I hope it's been useful to you, and if it has, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Is there a topic that you're desperate for me to do a rapid revision lesson on? Then why not put it in the comments below and I'll see if I can help. Thanks again for watching and goodbye.